Today's anime was mostly pretty middle of the road, but there was at least one pleasant surprise, which we'll be getting to towards the end. For starters, let's get to our episode 2, which is, if it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord. Honestly, I didn't even make it through episode 2 of this show. I just can't stand the portrayal of the little girl character. She's like if you just took all of the traits of a moe girl and removed all humanity, leaving only the moe traits. It's like she's just a cute little girl who makes faces and says cute phrases and is adorable, and but she's not really that cute, like, just because the art's not that great. So it's not a show I can really watch just for cuteness, and that's all it has so far. I've been told that the light novels eventually develop more of a story. It's hard for me to care when, like, I can't really get invested in these characters in the first place because they suck and are super one-dimensional and not interesting at all. I don't know how anybody could be surprised that this is a grooming story, because the guy doesn't act fatherly towards the girl in any way. He acts like he's waifu fagging over her. Like, he treats her as like this precious waifu that must be protected. Like, he treats her like a moe girl. He doesn't treat her like a daughter. And you know, I'm just gonna let you know, in case you are holding on to some weird hope that this is not like that, go ahead and spoil yourself and look at the cover of Volume 8 of the light novels, and you'll get a sense of where this story seems to be going, assuming I'm not misinterpreting what's going on in that cover art. Yeah, not interested in that show. Just kind of bland and uninteresting. Another show I don't think I'll be continuing is Machikaro Mazoku, which is a show about a girl who is part of the lineage of, like, these villains to magical girls, essentially. And she awakens to her powers one day, grows devil horns and a devil tail, and is told that she needs to go spill the blood of a magical girl on this, like, weird family obelisk thing. And it's a comedy show, very lighthearted, very gag-driven, and I want to like this show. There is a lot of things that are likable about it, and I kind of was, like, rooting for it. The character designs are cute, but at the same time there's these weird gradients in their hair that look really terrible. But the artwork's not really exceptional. I thought that the timing of jokes was pretty solid. The humor made me kind of like, huh, you know, not really laugh out loud. Voice acting was solid, but the biggest problem is just that it really under-delivers visually on the jokes. You will hear a character expressing something vocally that, you know, should be kind of over the top or a big, you know, jokey burst moment, but the animation doesn't deliver. The face is not expressing anything intense enough to match the voice. It just feels like the visuals are very deadpan, whereas the audio is not, and, like, the style of humor is not deadpan. It's more snappy. I thought that some of the dialogue was pretty funny, and I'll say that the subtitles don't always do justice to it from what I could understand. There's a part where the magical girl stops a dump truck from hitting the main character girl with her hand, and she refers to the driver as Dumpu no Hito, or literally dump person, like, because he's driving a dump truck. Like, they keep referring to it as a dumpu. They didn't translate that really, so that's, you know, just a little lost there, but some of the dialogue is pretty funny and clever, but again, it just under-delivered. None of the moments ever felt like they had enough punch to be as funny as they should have been. And when I got into the second half of the episode, it just kind of started to feel like a wash. I couldn't keep paying attention. Not enough things were jumping out at me, so yeah, I wanted to like it, but ultimately I don't think it's worth continuing. The one show, though, that I did enjoy from today's anime was Given, which is a sort of BL undertoned band show. It's a show that, I mean, this first episode really kind of just felt like K-On! With boy characters. The sort of pacing of the episode, the general feel of the characters, the way they act towards each other, it felt like if K-On! Is like girls as interpreted by a guy, this was guys as interpreted by a girl, but with that same kind of cleverness in the dialogue, that same kind of fun atmosphere, but without being like over the top. It's fairly realistic, it's fairly grounded, but you know, the characters have good chemistry together. Overall, I thought it was a pretty solid episode. I mean, it didn't have the visual splendor that K-On! Does, but what it did have is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I've been waiting so long for this to happen in an anime. It has math rock. Japan, you know, Japan has a lot of music. It has a lot of culture. But, like, the music from Japan that really permeates into the music circles outside of Japan is post-rock and math rock. Those are the two genres that Japan uniquely sort of conquered, particularly math rock. There are, like, hundreds of fucking Japanese math rock bands. And, like, they really... it's like a popular genre there, you know, like there's a lot of bands, there's a lot of, it's used in anime a lot, you see it in OPs and shit, just not in the actual shows. And I've always wanted, if you're gonna do a show about a Japanese band, why not make it like a uniquely Japanese genre style of music? So yeah, when the performance breaks out and they're playing like fairly technical stuff, like the whole song is in like odd time signatures and you know, some pretty fucking solid playing. I mean, it's not the most mind-blowing math rock you're ever gonna hear, but it's solid fucking math rock. And I, like, literally at the start of the episode, I was thinking about how I was like, when are they gonna make a fucking anime about math rock? I was like readying a tweet about it, like, but I was waiting to see what kind of music they were gonna play in the show, and it was math rock. I couldn't fucking believe it. So that got me really excited, like getting to watch a show about a genre of music I actually listen to, like where I will actually be entertained by the performance scenes. And like the animation's not stunning or anything during those scenes, but it's all serviceable. Nothing in this was like ugly, nothing in it was bad. The pacing felt a little weird at first, but then I kind of realized it was kind of this mellow, plodding tone that is meant to give like a slice of life feel. Again, it felt very much like the first episode of K-On! Just in the pacing and everything. Again, not the strength of production, not as good of a background music, not as good of visuals, but the dialogue was actually pretty fun and clever. This is another case where I don't think the subtitles quite did justice to it, just because a lot of it was sort of lingual puns and stuff like that I can, you know, barely really pick up on, but I get it just because I've watched enough anime to understand the way that characters talk when they're making a pun, and then I can kind of reverse engineer, use context clues, you know, figure out, okay, in Japanese this is what they're trying to say. Not that it's like a huge downgrade in the subtitles or anything, but it's just a little bit of the cleverness is lost. But yeah, I thought the dialogue was fun and clever. I liked the characters. I'm down to watch more. Like, I don't expect this show to necessarily go in the same direction as K-On! Because it doesn't strike me as like a 4-coma comedy based, you know, series. It is based on a manga that's pretty well rated on MAL at least, which is usually reserved for more like emotional story driven stuff on that site. So I don't know. It could be interesting. I'm definitely going to keep watching it to see what happens and to hear some sick fucking math rock. And that's it for today's anime. If you want to keep me going, allow me to watch anime every fucking day like this, support me on Patreon. I've got all these fucking reward tiers where you can get, you can get rants about whatever you want. You get all kinds of podcasts, hours and hours and hours, days even of content that is immediately available upon being a patron. And if you give me $40 a month, I send you a personalized care pack. I also still have my Kiri Boss, or Digiboss rather, t-shirt where I fight all the Kiritos, available for sale. I don't know how many I actually have left. I'm going to do the first shipment tomorrow. After tonight, I'm doing a live stream, by the way, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be live streaming me and May playing Pokemon Soul Silver. She's going to be Nuzlocking. It's episode 2. Episode 1's already up on the channel. I have to advertise it in these videos because I don't know if enough people watch those videos to know when the live streams happen. But in the live streams, we raffle off stuff Last time it was a t-shirt. This time it will probably be another t-shirt. Might even be a misprint special rare edition t-shirt because I misprinted some of my shirts. So, yeah. Stick around for all that, and I'll see you then.